Hello. Thank you for tuning in today. We're glad that you're here. This is a presentation from Polaris House. This is the first time that we've been in front of the camera, so we're hoping that it goes smoothly. And we'd like to tell you who we are and what we do. So my name is Bruce Van Dusen, and I am the director of the Polaris House. And today I have a couple of guests with me, and they're going to talk about what they do at the Polaris House and what our aim is, what we hope to accomplish, and what we do accomplish. So first with me today is Daryl Wilkerson, and Daryl wears two hats. Daryl is the vice president of our board of directors, and he's also a very long time Clubhouse member. He's very active in the Clubhouse community. And so, Daryl, what would you like to tell us about what goes on at Polaris House and what we do?
Well, basically, we give a member the opportunity to come in and participate any way they choose to help it run as a business. And I've been thankful for the opportunity to do a lot of the business end of it. I was very interested in business administration, and have had the opportunity to do a lot of debit reports and deposit reports and different reports that kind of help gauge our spending and so that we know exactly where we're at. And I've been a member since 2009, with a little bit of a break in between 2009 and 2014, but I'm glad to be back and have that opportunity to feel like I can give back instead of what can Polaris House do for me. I look at it, what can I do for Polaris House? And it makes it more meaningful to have that opportunity to realize that, you know, even with the challenges of life and challenges of our mental illness, you know, the opportunities are still there. And the staff always, you know, if we struggle with something, doing something or figuring something out, the staff is always there to help us out and explain what's going on and help us to overcome our obstacles. And many of the time that I felt like, you know, that I was more a more of a leader, I guess, in the fact that, you know, I want to be able to teach what I do know to help others. You know, I mean, and if I can be of assistance to someone, then it makes me feel good. You know, just having that opportunity to give instead of feeling like I'm just taking, and which, you know, I'm really thankful that you came and changed it around to where, you know, it's a better place to be. not only not only from the mental aspect, but just the personal personal growth aspect. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunity before. It was more like a drop-in center to me, and that wasn't for me. It just didn't clash with, or didn't click with my perspectives. And then I decided, well, how can I give more and more? And I finally decided to become a member rep on the board to start with, and just to have a voice in voicing what direction the clubhouse needs, and what things could change or what things need to change. And then I was elected vice president 2 years ago, I think it was, and it's given me the opportunity to have a voice and to feel like, I'm really part of the growth of the clubhouse as a whole, rather than just a member. I'm able to be part of it, and I've appreciated that opportunity.
Great. So is there anything else that you want to say?
The main thing is, I think the clubhouse has really helped me in my own personal life as well, and how to grow personally.
Great.
And because I felt like I didn't have no purpose before. And now I do have a purpose, and hopefully a sense of belonging.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And what Daryl is talking about is exactly what should happen in the clubhouse with the staff and the members. He talked about being able to be part of something bigger than himself, something that gives him self-worth and purpose and meaning to what you're doing, that what you're doing is valuable. And that's exactly what we should be doing in the clubhouse. Thank you. So I believe that we're going to move on to our next guest. And so I wanted to make a few comments while we're bringing our next guest up. And Daryl mentioned very briefly a short comment on what the clubhouse was like when I got here, and he talked about some of the positive changes that we've made. And we have made a lot of changes, but we've made those changes as the Polaris House community, not me making the changes. We did it as a group, as the board, as members, and as staff. For example, one of the things that used to happen is we would have need to call the police in. The way it was described to me, at one point, the police were coming in sometimes twice a day. And I thought, well, that's not the promotion of a safe environment. Well, we need to work on that. So through a certain period of time, we got to the point where we're down to having to have support or interventions from the police maybe once or twice a year, which is really, really great, because we want to have a safe place. That's the first thing, is a place where the member belongs, where they're safe. And then the second right that we protect and promote is the right to meaningful activity. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it's the opportunity to contribute their skills and talents to the community. And we also promote a right to meaningful relationships. Many of the members in that positive environment are able to develop friendships with each other, and that's very important. All of us rely on friendships to enhance and improve our lives and to enjoy life and to have quality in our lives. The fourth right that we promote and protect is the right for the member to return to the clubhouse after any length of absence. Once you're a clubhouse member, you're a clubhouse member. Someone could sign on to be a member in the year 2002, leave town, and if they came back today or tomorrow, they could walk into the clubhouse and their membership just continues where they left off. And so Daryl really touched on some very important points. I really thank him for his willingness to speak with us today. Our next guest is Brad Curé, and he's going to talk about several different things. Brad is currently the treasurer of our board of directors, and he's also a local business owner, and he's also wears a dual hat that he performs a service to Polaris House as our landlord too. So with that, I'll move it over to Brad and let Brad take it from there, and he has some really interesting comments about what Polaris House is and what we do.
One of the things that Polaris House is good at is creating, I think you explained before about, fostering the relationships and the friendships with people and, making people feel more comfortable about who they are and a safe place they can go and communicate. And those are very, very important abilities, important traits that a clubhouse like the Polaris can give. And when, I have to tell you a story. When Bruce first came into the clubhouse, we'd already taken out some walls in there. In fact, originally the clubhouse was going to be a chiropractic clinic. So it was, there's a lot of little rooms and things like that. And Jill and I took out some rooms, and then Dorothy, who was the next director, Dorothy Green?
Yes,
Green?
Dorothy Green.
Green, took out some walls. And then Bruce came out, and he was the last one to come take out walls, and he was like, let's take out this wall right here where the eating area is. Can we do that? And I said, sure, yeah, we can do that. It's non-structural. We have, And okay, well, let's take out this other area where the printer was and the hallway was. Let's take this out, and can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. Well, we took out everything that we could, except for the bathroom. We didn't take the bathroom wall down.
We'd have moved that if we could have.
But everything else we took out, and it made the clubhouse that much more just inclusive of everybody. It didn't. Nobody can hide behind any walls, and it just made it so much more of a of a community area, and that's kind of been the thing in many offices. Like KTO Studios, for instance, the news staff is all now in one large area where people can communicate, and so it's apparently working for other organizations, and it's also working for Polaris House quite well too, and I've noted that. So
great.
Well, anyway, that's a little bit about the history.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, because while I have you here though, and I got you where everyone can see you, I wanted to just make a comment that we have 37 standards of operation given to us by Clubhouse International, and I'm going to touch on that in just a minute. One of them is about our space, that it needs to be respectable space, clean space, functional space, that it serves the purpose and the mission of the clubhouse. And we talked about taking out walls and remodeling some things. And I will tell you, I've had visitors from the community, other providers, and people from the community who've come in, and I got to tell you, they look at our building and they just give us all kinds of compliments on how nice the building looks, how well everything is built. And that's good for our membership too, but it also says a lot about the work that you've been able to do and to help us with. And we're very, very grateful to you for that.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have just a couple minutes left. I believe that we're going to do a couple more episodes, so we're going to be able to get more in depth in some of the other things. Polaris House is a member clubhouse of Clubhouse International. And when we say international, we're on 6 continents. We would be on the South Pole if we could figure out how to get a clubhouse into the science complex down there. But we have more than 400 clubhouses in over 30 countries. And there have been some limitations and some challenges for all of us during the pandemic, but we were able to add 15 new clubhouses to our organization during the last year. And that says a lot about what we do, that people are just very interested in what we're doing, want to be a part of it, and that's a strong testament as to what we do. So we're going to have part of one of our future episodes where we'll talk about Clubhouse International. We'll talk about the 37 standards of operation that we strive to meet each day. And we'll talk about how the Clubhouse model is an evidence-based practice, and what that means is there's been about 20, 30 years or so of documented and compiled research and data that shows that what we do works, what we do helps a person in their life overcome certain challenges and become part of a community. And we'll also really dig into some of the details on specific services that we provide that our members work with us to provide. We have a strong focus on meaningful activity. Now that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but we have a very robust employment programs. We have housing programs where our aim is to place people in independent housing situations where they have their own key. And we provide whatever supports and camaraderie and friendship that person might need to maintain their housing. And we also help people get linked into education programs. There have been Clubhouse members who have been here in Juneau who have gone on to get degrees from the University of Alaska at Juneau here in the Southeast. So that's a couple of examples of that. We have another service that we call Community Supports and Services. And basically that is everything. A person needs to get hooked up to pharmaceutical services or psychiatric services. They're looking for a church. They're looking for food banks. They're looking for clothing banks. They're trying to figure out the transportation system. They're trying to figure out where the grocery store is, how to ride the buses, everything. So we provide that support to all of our members. So I'll close with a couple of comments, but the next thing to touch on is that all of the services and supports that we provide to members are of no direct cost to them. They don't have to have Medicaid, they don't have to have insurance, they don't have to make co-pays, they don't have to provide any kind of payment to be a part of the Polaris House community. We also have robust social programs. We did face some severe challenges when we were trying to come up with a mitigation plan and how to continue our social programs, but we go camping. We're going to be camping here next weekend out at the Camp Damp, the Methodist camp. We go out there several times a year, so we can start doing that again. We're all very happy about that. We've also instituted daily social activities, Monday to Friday. So right now our hours are Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, and we're located at 434 West Willoughby Avenue. It's right across the street from the Sandpiper Cafe. And there are opportunities for persons in the community to participate with us. Some examples have been, we have had hairdressers that wanted to donate haircuts, so we were able to have that person come into the clubhouse and do haircuts. We have time and supplies for arts and crafts activities. A lot of our members really love to get into the arts. A lot of them are very successful artists. And we're looking for someone who can come in and do an arts and crafts session at least once a week. So we're doing that. And I don't want to go into too much about what happened before the pandemic, but we were open 7 days a week. We had evening hours, we had weekend hours. We're really striving to get back to that. It's very important that we're open 7 days a week. That's the best way to serve each other. It's the best way to grow together, to be available every day. And we do have some strong funding partners. The Alaska Mental Health Trust Authority is a very strong funding partner for us. They've been providing funds to help support Polaris House for a very long time. We're very grateful to them. We also receive grants through the Juneau Community Foundation. We work with them, and they give us operation funds each year. And we work with the Vanguard Foundation. We get operation funds from them. And there's also quite a list of private businesses, local businesses, and individuals who contribute funds. I'm not going to try to name them all because I'm sure I'd forget someone, and I don't want to do that, so I'd rather just not try. So that's where we are. So hopefully very soon we're going to come in and talk about our international organization, the Clubhouse history, how the Clubhouse movement started in the late 1940s. We'll talk about what our movement is doing today. For example, this week we were awarded a special presidential commendation award for the work that we do. When I say presidential, I mean United States presidential. And we've received other awards as well. So we'll talk a little bit about our history and how all that comes together. And then we want to take some time to be able to bring to you the different types of services and supports that we use that promote that personal growth, that personal inclusion, and that partnership with the Clubhouse member to make the Polaris House community the strong benefit that it is to Juneau. So thank you, and thank you for tuning in. I'd like to say something I've always heard other people say. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not, but I've heard a lot of other people on these videos say it, so I'm going to say it. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, please remember to hit like and subscribe, because we want you to see more of us, and we want to be able to do this again, and we appreciate your attention, and we appreciate your watching us today. So thank you very, very much.
And I'd like to also say thank you to the sponsors for the Polaris House again. And I think Ramson Foundation was another large sponsor, weren't they?
That's the Vanguard.
Oh, it's the Vanguard.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much of an impact that it makes on so many people's lives, and it's money really well spent. And that's saying a lot for me, because I'm not a big money spender throwing money around. But this is really making such a good impact on people's lives, and it's actually saving the community, the social services and the social services programs for the state and for the federals. It's saving a lot of dollars. So it's great. Polaris House is doing some excellent, wonderful work here.
So I'd like to expound on that for just a minute.
Sure.
I did mention law enforcement interventions in the Clubhouse. We, as a Polaris House, have been able to cut a lot of costs that the Juneau Police Department had. They don't need to come in to see us very often for problems. It doesn't cost the community money. When the police had to come in once a day or twice a day, that costs the community money. Our services and supports are shown to help people stay out of emergency room services. Again, that's a cost saver. We have shown that our services help people stay out of inpatient psychiatric units. Again, that's a cost saver. So there's a lot of things that we do that save money for the community. And we also put money back into the community because we promote employment when it's appropriate. When a person wants to work, that person goes out and earns money. Well, what do they do with the money? They spend it on rent. It goes to landlords. They spend it on food at the grocery store. They spend it on bus tokens. They pay taxes when they make purchases. So the services and supports that we do within our Polaris House community benefit the entire community in cost savings and in input of cash through taxes and purchases of goods and services. So I think I better let it go at that. I love Clubhouse. I've been doing Clubhouse for over 20 years, and I could probably sit around and talk about it forever, but I know you don't want me to do that. So, so thank you. We'll see you at the next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.